Super Eagles of Nigeria have been eliminated from the 2018 World Cup, just like every other African team that went to the tournament. On this show today, Goal Line, brought to you by ARM Pensions, we break down and dissect what happened to African teams, and is there anything differently that Nigeria's Super Eagles could have done to make it to the next round. My name is Senegal, and today on the show, I have a marketing communications personnel to help us dissect this. Welcome to the show, Akin Akinwola.
Thanks, Tega. Thanks for having me. I look forward to a very interesting session.
Did you cry?
I was heartbroken. It was almost sort of expected. The prayer was that Messi will not come into his elements, but that was always a prayer.
And he did. Okay, before we go into the previews and reviews proper, let me remind you, on this show, you have the opportunity to win a 5,000 Naira voucher from ARM Pensions. We're telling you later on in the show what to do to win it. We'll be back after this break.
Today, we're going to talk about a very important decision. Are you ready? You study hard, get out of school, and get a job. What do you do next?
Before uncle, you fall in party.
Well, that's true, but that's not the first important decision you make. This decision is one you make today for a better tomorrow.
Family planning, Abi.
What does that have to do with your first job?
They there now. See, as I fall in the work, money go come show. After one, woman go show. Then pikin go show. Another pikin go come show. And another one. Before you know, pikin don't full everywhere. Money don't finish.
Good point. But this is before all that.
Before picking and party?
Yes. The first decision you should make once you get a job is to choose a reliable pension fund administrator like ARM Pensions, who will keep your monthly contributions safe and growing till you're ready to retire.
Tomorrow is a better day.
Okay. So when I retire now, they will come, they give me my money back plus interest to take enjoy my life. I'm a parent.
Now, back to family planning.
Bros, now what for you?
Welcome back to the show. It's Goal Line, brought to you by ARM Pensions. I'm still Tega Onojaife, and I still have my marketing communications personnel in the studio in Akin Akinwola to try and sell us an idea. The first idea we want you to try and sell us on, Gernot Rohr has said that he wants to stay on with the Eagles and maybe see how he can build up to winning the AFCON in 2019 and from then on maybe the World Cup in 4 years. What is your take on this?
Well, I would say Gernot Rohr's popularity will probably be at an all-time low right now in Nigeria. But you mentioned something at the beginning of the show. You talked about how African teams have always failed to rise at the big occasion. Interestingly, African teams thrive at the underage competitions, and that's because at the biggest level, what you need is a structure. You need a structure that's been honed over time. In Africa, we seem to have this problem of not planning ahead.
So what mistakes do you think he made?
Unfortunately, Gernot Rohr seems, and I think it's something that's common to many coaches. In the friendly, I'll take you back to the friendly we had against England. We used our traditional formation in the first half. It wasn't working. Because it was a friendly, he was at liberty to try things out. He came up with 3-5-2, and the game changed. You know, it changed some personnel, some people who were like square pegs in round holes. You removed them, and there was a vast improvement in the game. We came into the World Cup. You'd expect that this thing, we've tried something, he worked. In the first game, he stuck to the same old thing because, and you can understand, they are humans. They are trying that, okay, so this thing has served me over time. He worked in the qualifiers in Africa, but at the biggest stage right now, you need to be bold. Especially after the first game, we didn't offer anything. That match could have gone on for 3 hours, and we wouldn't have, unless something was changed.
What changes would you have made?
In that case, of course, Tyron Ebury, no guesses for remove Tyron Ebury, bringing in Tyron Ebury, remove Brian Edu, change to a 4-5-1 formation. Try and ride out the game. There are some antics like was it Drogba that said we've not learned to, game management. African teams don't have game management at that.
But on that team, you said we go to.
At that time when we lost that, when the penalty call, you know, there was a law. The Argentines, of course, that decision was in their favor. They will have gotten some, so it will avoid them. They'll have decided, okay. So at that point in time, changes, even substitutions, kill time. Change to 4-5-1. Bring in somebody, waste time for all those antics. They are dirty antics that are in football,
but they are effective.
But they are very effective. There are some things that, you know, this was the same thing that happened to us in year 94.
Yeah.
We were coasting. Of course, a goal would have just sealed it, made us more comfortable. If you look at most of the games in this World Cup, there have been many goals that have been scored after the 80th minute. And that's because at that time, teams are panicking, they're tired, and so you can hit them. Germany, when they were all out for a goal, you can hit them. So if we had changed our system to like a 4-5-1, we had a Musa that can run for 150 minutes. General was lacking in those things, but I'm sure he must have taken learnings going forward. So I don't think we need to. It won't be very wise. It will be us repeating the same mistakes that we've
if Nigeria fires General. Okay, so General stays, in your opinion. You've sold me on this one, so General is staying now. I've bought it. I want you to sell me on this. So, Cisse is saying that regardless of what happened, Senegal becomes the first team to be eliminated by fair play.
Well, I'll say somebody has to be the first anyway.
And he's saying that, you know what, it's painful, but we've accepted our fate. We knew exactly what the rules were before we went into the game, and we've taken it. First question, do you think they played for a draw? I
felt they played for a draw. And what all they just needed to do was avoid defeat. At the very beginning, what you just needed to do was get a goal or two to secure yourself. I think for Senegal, it was a bad one for Africa. Senegal was the last hope for us as Africans, but unfortunately, the rules were there. I heard so many people saying, "Oh, Africa, there's a conspiracy." So why the fair play rule is not a fair way of judging the game? Even a fair play didn't judge you. You would have come to ballots.
Yes, it would have come to ballots at the end of the day.
If they had the same yellow card. So
let's correct that impression now. On head to head, they were exactly on par with Japan. Number of goals scored, goal difference they were on par. Goals scored for on par. Goals against on par. So the only other way after all those options were eliminated was the fair play and then ballots. So what happened? It wasn't racism. It wasn't a bias. It was the rules. Now we go back to what you said earlier in your analysis when you were talking about Didier Drogba, and he was talking about Africa needs to think again about how we approach big competition.
Yes. What Drogba is trying to say is it seems we lack game management. If you go back every quarter, like the quarterfinal with Ghana and Uruguay, you know,
it was just a red card for his team.
That is what you call doing what you need to do to progress.
Yeah.
We don't have that ruthless win-all mentality. So if Africa is going to be able to manage these big competitions, we need to put our systems right. We need to make sure that we have a level of continuity.
Yeah.
So we take learnings from past competitions. How many players were from the last World Cup at this World Cup? If you remove Mikel, maybe 2 or 3 players, and we expect to go on and win the World Cup, or cause significant damage at the World Cup. Chances are very slim, to be honest.
I totally agree with you there. And on that note, I want to give my pundit for the day a very quick break, and then we'll come back and test his knowledge, because you see that seat he's sitting on, somebody sat there last week, he predicted that Nigeria will be eliminated,
patriotic Nigerian,
and Nigeria was eliminated. So this week I want to see if he can feel the boots of that person, or maybe even top it. We'll take this break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Goal Line, brought to you by ARM Pensions. I'm still Tega, and I still have Aki in the house. And now to test his knowledge. Yes, it's time for the knowledge test. That one you could have crammed it, but this one I don't think so. So let's start with the first one. Messi has come out to say that France will not be an easy game. What do you think are Argentina's chances against the French?
Well, Argentina's chances are, I would say, Messi's chances. Based on the evidence that France has, the only South American team to knock out France from the World Cup has always been Argentina, as far back as 78. I feel Argentina will do the business again. Okay,
I'm going to hold you to that. Let's move on from that team that seemed to have been picking up momentum to a team that lost their last game against Belgium. Belgium started the second string team, and so did England, but criticisms have come from home front for Gareth Southgate for the team he fielded against Belgium. They feel like they should have topped that group. What's your opinion on that?
Southgate won't mind losing that game. But the interesting thing is that beyond Colombia, what do you face next? You have Brazil, you have France down the line, if you go the route of Japan, all he has to do is win the next game, and everybody will be
on it again. Yeah, that's what England does for you. Okay, so from that loss to the curse of the defending champions since 1998, every defending champion has crashed out in the group stage. But Germany haven't taken this line down. They're saying that they have to build a new team for the next World Cup. Is it a new team or a new system? What do you think was Germany's problem?
Germany's problem is, of course, beyond the course of the champions. On the evidence of Sané's Man City form when coming to the World Cup, it was almost unconscionable for Sané not to be part of that squad.
So you think Sané alone would have made
Sané could have
Germany qualify?
This World Cup has been defined by little fine margins. A little spark from Sané could have changed the fortunes. One goal against South Korea could have qualified. So for the life of me, I couldn't understand why Sané couldn't make it. But beyond that, Germany has a system. They don't have, so I don't think they will be the type to throw away I hear he's considering his future, but I think he will stay and they will build up from this success, from this failure.
And even if he doesn't, there's a plethora of coaches in Germany that will take over and the team will come back. I'm not sorry for them because I know that they'll come back and they'll win again. So let somebody else win, turn by turn. I don't agree with you on the Sané part though.
Yeah, I know.
I guess that's what we're going to take on this note. But before we go, I need to tell every single person, your opportunity is now. We are receiving different social media pictures and videos, and you don't want to be left out. For the social media competition, here is your chance to win 5,000 Naira voucher. All you need to do, take a picture of yourself in your World Cup moment, hashtag #GoLine, and follow at ARM to win. The picture or the video with most likes and most retweets gets the 5,000 Naira voucher. Hurry up and send yours now because people are already sending in their own, and I don't want you to miss out on this. Alright, before we go, we have to take one more crystal ball moment from our guest pundits. Last week, Segun Efwakwe predicted that Nigeria was going to crash out of the tournament, and they did. So this week, we have to give you pass mark or fail mark now. So have you polished the crystal ball?
Yes.
You've cleaned it very
Polished.
well. Okay, what can you see now? Spain versus Russia.
Spain versus Russia. I feel Russia has overperformed. They're full of run-ins, just as the stats have shown. But Spain have too much in the reservoir. In terms of talent, they built the momentum, and I think they can only go on from there. So Spain will edge it, but only just.
Brazil, Mexico, that one is tough.
Now that is it. Now, so Mexico just qualified on a whim of luck. They had a disastrous second half in their last game, and they don't want to be going to into the Brazil match on that kind of evidence. Brazil have only gotten stronger. Neymar is coming to his elements. I think he had his best game in the last match, but I would say he goes into extra time. Brazil edging it.
Well, I hope the Brazilians are not watching. If he's like Segun and you're Brazilian, you should be happy. If you're Mexican, you should be sad. On that note, I would say thank you very much, Akin Akinbola. It's been fantastic working with you. Let's just say thank you to everybody. Just remember, send your pictures, your videos, hashtag #GoLine, and tag @ARM Engage so that we can get your pictures and your videos. And the pictures and the videos with the most likes and most retweets runs away with a 5,000 Naira voucher. Till we meet you again next week, my name is Senegal. Bye for now.